Well, hello everyone. Hi, welcome back. I am Wendi Blum. Thanks for being here on my YouTube channel where I share tips and strategies for better thinking, better habits, and better results. Today, I'm going to talk about the power of habits based on the book, The Power of Habits by Charles Duhigg. And he talks about, I'm just going to jump right in. He talks about the habit loop. And I think this is so important because we struggle with trying to break bad habits and create good habits. And we really struggle. Like, we know what we need to do less of, we know what we need to do more of, and then we're stuck on the hamster wheel of trying to break those old habits, create the new ones. So he breaks it down into just 3 areas. He talks about this loop being a trigger, a cue, a trigger, and then you have the part which is the actual action, the routine, and then the last part is the reward. So it all starts with the awareness around the trigger. He gives this example around eating a cookie, that every day at 3 o'clock, he would take the elevator in his office up to the cafeteria, into the room where he would have a cookie and then socialize with his other coworkers. And when he noticed that first part, the cue, the trigger, it would be between 3 and 3:30 every day. And then the routine would be, he'd get up from his desk, he'd ride the elevator up, he'd get off, he'd go into the room, he'd grab the cookie, and then he would interact with his coworkers. And now you would think the reward would be the cookie. But the reward wasn't really the cookie. The reward was actually being able to interact with his coworkers. So here's what he did with the trigger, because he was still going to have the trigger. We still have those triggers. If you eat at night, because I know that that's always been one of my weaknesses, eating right before going to bed. So that's the trigger. If you just notice that happens at 8 o'clock at night and you just bring your awareness around those triggers. So what he did was between 3 and 3:30, where he would get that trigger, he would get that urge to then get up and ride the elevator up and go into the cafeteria. What he would do, instead of grabbing a cookie, he would break the pattern. So one time he would go up and he would eat a chocolate bar, and then he would still visit and interact and have conversations with his coworkers. And then the next time, it would be 3 o'clock, he would get up, he'd take the elevator up, so it's the same routine, it's that same trigger, right? But then he would break it up once he got into that room, and then he would sit down first, and then he would eat half a cookie, and then he would get up and interact with his coworkers. So the whole key is just to bring your awareness to what's going on, and eventually he was able to break that habit. What he did and what the reward was just interacting with his coworkers. So he was able to change it up so that he would still get the interaction at 3 o'clock. He created a new routine that he would still ride the elevator up, he would still visit with his coworkers, but he no longer needed to have the cookie. I also like to think of goals, creating goals just in 1% increments. So that's where you start thinking about what it is that you want to do less of and just kind of lean into it, and what it is that you want to do more of. So hence, better thinking, better habits, and better results. So you guys are awesome. Thanks so much for being here. If this resonated with you, if you have a habit that just popped up, you're like, you know what, I want to give that up, or I want to create this habit, name that habit, put hashtag in that habit into the comments section here. We're all going to learn from each other, and I wish you a phenomenal day.